beautiful ignited souls. I am Crimey Queen and welcome on this ship which is United Souls or Ignited Souls. So that would be something like US. We could say United is United Souls, or we could say Ignited Souls, which is, and everything is. So us is whatever we decide it's going to be. Now, here on this channel, if you have joined us for the first time, we usually work with this sacrifice template. Everything evolves around this sacrifice template, and that actually derives from our observation of knowing or understanding that everything seemed to, like Jesus Christ, died to save mankind. But when we look at it, it seems like everything or every action that we perform has a degree or element of sacrifice to it. So basically, I'm doing this presentation here, and perhaps I would have rather watching a film, or I had to make a decision between watching a film, a movie, or this having this presentation, and I chose to have the presentation. Whoa. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about. We always have to be making decisions, leaving one thing for another. So that would be on the spectrum of sacrifice. Now, I'm going to call this presentation perhaps one of the worst things about sexual trauma. Now, I'm revamping the content of what I have been doing. If you have been with me for some time, you will notice there is a degree of shift in the content of my presentations, is that I have been concentrating on pretty much sexual trauma, as well as the words that we use, because the sexual trauma or the specific remedy that I have been working on, which is TRSHC, which is the Revolutionary Spiritual Healing Code, which derives from the codes of the Bible. There is a sacred ancient remedy that I have discovered that has been transcended, and I have been able to put this in a form of a 5-day course. This 5-day course is where you ignite and activate the codes that are within you but are also recorded in the Bible. So basically, you are the Bible. Period. Okay. Now, this is very hard or difficult for a lot of people to actually absorb. But I will be doing more videos on showing how we've been using our language that expresses the very same thing, but we had not taken time to think about the words we use, the expressions that we actually articulate, and that really confirms that you are the word, you are the construct of the word that created everything. And so this is why we say, do you read me? Or mayday, mayday, I read you, or whatever it is, you read me. Yes, so this word read, if you are able to read me, it means that I am a book. That's why we also say, oh, I could read you like a book, because you are a book. We say things like that. Or I'm going to make you eat your words. That means that everything is digestible in word form codes. So we won't go too much into this right now, but there is an experience I want to share with you. And I realized that perhaps this is the worst thing that can happen to someone who has suffered sexual trauma, sexual violence, or shame, blame, whatever it is, guilt, and all those things, all those tags that really inhibit one from their true self-expression, of evolving into that which you are meant to be, the word that flourishes, the word or blood, whatever it is that you are, all the makeup of what you are, whatever tag label that has the potential of some positive outcome, something that blooms, that evolves, that grows. Of course, everything can grow, negative, positive, but we are talking about something that makes your heart And others, of course, smile, flourish, ignite, unite, and all of those things. Okay, so I'm just seeing uses like ISIS, okay, and here is uses instead. So I had two interesting conversations and talking about the course that I have embarked on. When I say embarked, that I have given the story TRSHC, because we usually do numerology, so we are just going to do TRSHC, which is the Revolutionary Spiritual Healing Code, which you are coded. Like, your DNA strand. Everything is, scientists are able to show us that we are codes. But those codes, of course, are codes in codes, and they are actually in the Bible, which is how someone who has been sexually violated can actually find their healing by tapping into these codes in a construct or in a constructive way, or there's that methodology that you can tap into and, of course, heal your life. Now, why I say that it is difficult for people who have been sexually violated, it seems like one of the most difficult things to accept is healing. The idea that they can actually let go of that baby, or let go of that trauma, which often forms a tumor. So there is no, in fact, the word tumor and trauma is very interrelated. To let go of that, for people who have been sexually violated, they find it so difficult. So difficult that they feel more comfortable to thrive on telling the story, or thrive on feeling guilty, or thrive. When we say thrive, meaning exist, because you're not thriving in a productive manner, as in being in a positive sense. You are thriving on PT, you are thriving on self pity, you are thriving on compassion, you're thriving on all of those things, on empathy. Those things are good and they do help. But the main healing of all of this begins with self acceptance. The self acceptance that you have within you, the capacity and capability to tap into your inner resources to heal you. Of course, everything is mirrored. Hence, you've got me, or TRSHC, to mirror that aspect of that which you're meant to tap into. Of course, this is like having the module for life. We are because we are us, meaning we all connected, united souls. So it's like you have like the synaptic nerve. Of course, you have the neurons, which is firing here and there, getting messages here and there. That's how we are with each other. We mirror each other. We work different roles or functions to help each other heal. But somehow, as a synaptic nerve, if you like, for people who have been sexually traumatized, I use those terminology, synaptic nerve, like, oh, if I could, like, it's not that I'm really of one of medical background as such, but this is the image that often. So there's a synaptic nerve, if you like, or okay. So, but you have different, and it's firing different neurons, if you call this, or pathways for messages, and there's another hair, another nerve hair or something, and it goes on like this. Okay, and hair. So it's like a tree. Okay, so you have all these But some places, of course, having been traumatized, you may have blockages where these are not firing as they should to have a healthy cell or healthy body. And so you have developed a tumor. So, say you have developed this tumor, for instance, but this tumor has somewhere in it a code that had been there that you can ignite. You can ignite that code, but you have masked it with tissue and all of those things. So it's difficult somehow to, or it may seem difficult to get to. And this is what we are talking about here at SHC, where you can actually ignite, you can actually penetrate by just tapping into the code, by using your voice, the power of speech, the power of the word, and the power of numerology, and the power of the language that we have been given. It is so much easier for us to watch a magician perform an act, and thousands of us are looking and watching. We know it's not real, but the illusion of it, however, it is acceptable to us. We think, yes, this is pure magic. I don't know how he does it, but however he does it, and oh, did you know he did this, he did that, and we go home feeling a sense of joy or mystic or whatever it leaves you with in that moment. It did something. It's so much easier to accept that than to accept that you have within you the codes where you can create your own magic and thrive on that. Why is it so difficult for us to actually believe that we have the answers within us? Or we can find the answers through our mirror because we are united souls. We are reflecting that. You go to the doctor and the doctor writes your prescription. It's so much easier for us to accept some tablets that it's going to actually create magic. We forget that the word tablets actually came from like the very same story of Moses with the 2 tablets, meaning that those tablets were coded. That's why tablets have codes on them. Everything comes from that sense of who we are. We have the tablets, your left and your right, the 2 sides of who you are. It's just that you have your temples, you have everything's 2. So it would make sense for us to begin to look closer home to who we are in our makeup, to understand that we are codes. And those codes within us, the same way we can at any given moment use 5 seconds to make a decision, right or wrong, yes or no, even less. It is said if we can make that decision in that time, then we are very unlikely to find ourselves procrastinating. It's a 5-window opportunity. TRSHC is a 5-day opportunity. There is power in the number, just like your hands with 5 digits, and you can pick something up, you can break something, you can do whatever it is with 5. Your 5 senses, how you can engage with all the physical aspect of who you are with those 5 senses. It is difficult to accept that you can actually heal yourself. No, people, it is easy if you make it easy. Who was it? Was it Henry Ford or one of them said, if you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you can't. But this is actually saying that, again, you are the magician or the alchemist who can make those decisions for yourself. So, TRSHC, the Revolutionary Spiritual Healing Code, of course, is Bible based. It's the construct of the Bible. And that, of course, tells us that the Bible is not just about you being part of a congregation where or religion where it is conveyed in a certain way and that's all there is to it. No. There are hidden messages in those pages. Just like there are hidden aspects to who you are. Your skin covers you and you have 8 or 10 layers of skin, we are told. I think it was 8 last time I checked. And so, of course, 8 is this infinite number, whereas where you are now having, like your heart, like you've cut a tree, there is an inner core. If you were to look within, everything has layers to it. Likewise is the scriptures. There are hidden gems that awaits us for our evolution. It is so much easier for someone to accept that yes, if you are injected, you can be healed by this and whatever else is going on in our world today, than to accept what you know in your heart you really need. Why is it so much easier? People, all it takes is a mindset. All it takes is for us to begin to appreciate that we have the power within us to achieve whatever it is that we want to achieve. And in that willingness, just as I was willing to actually find a way to teach this course, there was something that opened up before me to show me the methodology or a speedier. This is the thing. The universe has given us something so profound to match the speed of things that are happening in our world today. It is saying that you don't need to, like I have done, spend weeks and months and years in therapy to find your healing anymore. Your willingness right now is that gives you that window opportunity to explore who you truly are, regain your power, find your self-empowerment, be the alchemist in your life, make the decisions for your life that will express your creative aptitudes, your creative states, and share your own creativity with the world. These are the things you can do with TRSHC. Why I say that this has been difficult. So I had 2 conversations. One was when I was telling someone very close to me about this TRSHC, what I have embarked on, and I could tell you could tell when people are finding excuses. They'd rather, it's as if there's something in the mind that has been conditioned to say, from what we have learned, this trauma requires so much therapy. You may have to go to therapy for the rest of your life. We left no room for eventuality or for change, knowing that the universe gives us everything that we could possibly need. It is all right for us to receive breakthrough in all kinds of other matters of the world, but it is also available to us to find healing for traumatic violence, for sexual violence. It is there like everything else. When you get breakthroughs in any other thing, it is also there for us to heal. I'm not saying just to cope. This is about healing your sexual imprints that has caused you trauma. So you are clearing those imprints, just like your cells you shed your cells. Likewise, you will shed off those cells that have created deep imprint in your subconscious mind. But you have to go through these activities, not just on a spiritual level, also on a physical level, on a mental level. This is what TRSHC does. with the 2 preparatory days that you have to prepare and prime your mind to receiving the 3 days of change, 3 days of creativity, where you will now in total have 5 days of transformation. It is frightening to some people, because what will I do when I have healed myself from this? I will have no excuse. No, I will have now, I will be presented with the responsibility to be a creative person. I have no more excuses. That is frightening, people. That is frightening. I had someone says, I don't believe that this can sexual healing can happen in this period of time. Maybe it may work for some people, but I don't think so. Already, someone has not explored anything about this. They have not asked, well, how does it work? Where did that derive from? They have not explored this. They have made a judgment. I don't think it would work. And that is so sad, that we feel that we have to remain in that state of self-imprisonment where sexual healing resides. It means that you continue to give your power to the person, because that imprint has its mirror aspect with the person who committed that sexual violence towards you. As long as you are suffering, that is the energy that they are thriving on. You have given them, you are still feeding that energy. I am inviting you to break that cycle. Break the cycle. Otherwise, you are very likely to pass this on to generation and generation. So thank you for listening. I hope that this makes sense. Please leave your comments, like and subscribe and share. And stay united and ignited.